Today we are going to talk about Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Now let me tell you, this character is an absolute menace that specializes in using his unblockable tools to constantly reset you and deal out big damage numbers. Now this guide is going to teach you everything that you need to know to use this character to his full potential. As always, the guide is going to be layered into multiple segments and you'll find a timestamp for these in the description below. Alright, so I'd say let's get right into it. To start things off, we are going to talk about his overall stats and his recharge speeds. Now his stats are really some of the best in the game. As you can see, he starts the game with 4 health bar stocks. Not only that, he also starts the game with 3 key blast stocks. Something which is very rare and very nice to have, because ki is so essential in this game. You need ki for movement, for winning super counter wars, basically for almost everything, and of course also using your supers. Another thing he has is good recharge speed. Now as you can see, when we ki charge, it's definitely quite fast. His blast stock recharge is also above average, similar to Vegeta's. Besides that, he also has one of the highest damage stats in the game. Let me demonstrate it. So as you can see, even just doing a simple square combo, he is doing above 14k damage. For comparison, this is about 1 to 2k more than Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku does. So his damage stat again is one of the best in the game. Another thing he has is that he passively has armor on him. Not a lot of characters have this. This means the first few hits from weaker characters' rush chains won't make him flinch. Let me give you all an example. As you can see, it takes a long time for Vegeta to start making me flinch. Now that we've finished talking about his overall stats and recharge speeds, we are going to talk about his movement. And honestly, there is not too much to say, which is a good thing for him because his movement is standard. So even though his hitbox is a bit bigger and he has armor, his movement is just as fast as most of the other characters. No demerits really. He can use all the movement techniques that any other character can as well. For example, let me show you some advanced movement. As you can see, he can easily pull it off. Any other cancels from Dragon Dashes and everything he can also do easily. If you want to know how to do these advanced movement techniques like this one, please check out my guide on movement. You can find it on my channel. Next up, we are going to talk about his supers, and trust me, this is where it gets interesting and where the madness begins. So we have Eraser Cannon and Gigantic Hammer as its standard supers. First off, let's talk about Eraser Cannon. Now this one is a pretty standard ball type super. As you can see, it does decent damage and travels fast, but it's really not anything too crazy. It's a standard super. Now Gigantic Hammer on the other hand, this one is absolute madness. Now this is a strike type super, but the difference compared to other strike type supers is usually, when you do a strike type super up close, your character takes a step back. For this super, this is not the case. Let me demonstrate it. Now as you can see, I can activate this right away. We are just going to let the animation play out real quick. Another property this move has, besides just being able to use it up close, because, you know, we are talking about Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, that is not enough. It is also unblockable. So now we're setting Vegeta to guard. And now, let's see what happens. He gets hit all the same. So this is an absolutely insane super. And to top it off, we can combo after it. So basically, this super is absolute insanity. It does cost 4 bars of ki, and it doesn't have the most range. Doing it from here, as you can see, it actually doesn't reach him. But this doesn't matter, because up close, we can always do this super and beat out Vegeta doing anything. So this super not only does a ton of damage, is unblockable, and can be done way up front, you can also combo after it. So yeah, this is a fantastic super. Next up, let's talk about his ultimate, Omega Blaster. And this one, my friends, is just as cheap. Why, you may ask? Because as you can see, Vegeta is set to blocking. But let's try doing our ultimate and see what happens. Now this is also a ball type super, but it's absolutely huge. And as you can see, it's unblockable. Not only is it unblockable, it also does a ton of damage. 23k. Now this is absolute madness. For both of these supers, you have, well, not for both of his supers, for his gigantic hammer, his one super, and his ultimate, you have setups and resets that allow you to go right into them. And we're going to get into those resets later. But now, for now, let me just tell you, gigantic hammer and his ultimate are absolutely insane. Now that we finished talking about his supers and his ultimate, we're going to talk about his Blast Dog moves. He has Explosive Wave and Kakarot. Explosive Wave is your standard get out of jail for free card, which is always nice. If you are being comboed for 2 Blast Dogs, you got a free combo breaker. It looks like this. This allows you to break their combos easily if you aren't landing your super counters. The second one he has is Kakarot, and this one is especially good for him. For 3 Blast Dogs, Kakarot is basically your standard full power move that brings you into your sparking mode. Let's see what it looks like. As you can see, it buffs your damage and everything else, and also puts you right into sparking mode. And as we've already established during the super and ultimate segment, this means that we can use our unblockable ultimate, which does a ton of damage. And with this buff, it does even more damage. So let's see how much damage it actually does now. This is absolutely crazy. So considering everything that we've talked about up to this point, I'd say his kit is absolutely fantastic. The only standard move he has is his Eraser Cannon. His other super is absolutely great. His ultimate is also really good, and all of his Blast Dog moves are super useful, especially Kakarot, which allows you to go right into your ultimate. So yeah, his kit regarding supers and Blast Dog moves is great. Now let's talk about his other unique moves. First of all, let's talk about his Charge Ki Blasts. So his Charge Ki Blasts are a tracking type. He throws 3 of them and they track the opponent's location. Usually for most characters this isn't too good, but for Broly this is absolutely fantastic. First of all, the one unique use it always has is that it tracks, and this means we can use it to cover our approach, just like this. So it's good to use in the neutral game to make your approach with burst dashing safer, just like this. But another unique use it has is that for Broly we can set up our ultimate, which is unblockable. So how do we do this? It's pretty simple. Basically, in sparking mode, once we throw our Ki Blasts and see that the opponent blocks them, we confirm right into our ultimate, and they won't have enough time to get out of the way. The only way they can escape that is by vanishing the ultimate, which is very hard. Let me demonstrate what it looks like. Now as you all can see, there was absolutely nothing Vegeta could do about this besides vanish. As soon as I noticed that he wouldn't be able to get out of the way of the Charge Ki Blast, I confirmed right into my ultimate and hit him for a ton of damage. So these Ki Blasts are really good for Broly. They are also good to confirm into your super, which is also unblockable. But we are going to get into that in the reset segment. For now, just know that these Charge Ki Blasts for him are actually very good. Next up, let's talk about his Sidestep triangle. Now his Sidestep triangle is this key wave. Overall, Sidestep triangles are unique for every character, but they are based on rush chain extensions. In my opinion, the best ones are the heavy finish one and the rolling hammer one. For him, he has the key wave, and this is the only part of his kit that I don't consider too great, because the key wave has so many hits that it's very easy to vanish it. It doesn't matter if you're hitting them from the front or from the back. As you can see, Vegeta is vanishing this no problem. Regardless, if they are getting hit by it, you can confirm it into a full combo. Let me just show you what it looks like. Now as you can see by burst dashing, I can easily keep the combo going. Overall, I'd say his Sidestep triangle is okay, but it's not good. The better ones, like I said, are the ones that give you heavy finish or rolling hammer. Regardless, keep in mind that Sidestep triangles are almost always useful because they have armor on them. This means if somebody is just mashing on you, you can always sidestep into your triangle move and it's gonna beat out their mash because you are armored during the duration of it. Another very strong tool that he has is his grab. Now his grab is unique because his grab is unbreakable. Not a lot of characters have this, and it's indicated by lines flashing around the screen during its startup. As you can see, this means that our grab is unbreakable. Now it also means that the grab itself is a bit slower, but it honestly doesn't matter because we can easily reset into this. We'll get into that later though. For now, just know that not only is it unbreakable, but you can also combo after it using burst dashes, which looks like this. Now as you can see, I can easily continue my combo. So his grab is another tool that is absolutely fantastic for his arsenal of resets and unblockables. Lastly, let us talk about his dash attack. Now his dash attack is also very good. Why is that? Because it has a ton of reach. Let me demonstrate it. As you can see, the reach on this is absolutely massive. This means in the neutral game you can easily catch your opponent with this if they aren't being careful. Even from very far away, as you can see, I can automatically close in no problem. This also means that you can easily combo after smash attacks using not only burst dashes, but also your dragon dash cancels. Let me demonstrate what it looks like. Now as you can see, this is very easy to do. Outside of that, he also has these standard dash attack extensions, which looks like this. And you can also do it downwards, which looks like this. I prefer the upwards one because from the upwards one we can also combo using our burst dash. Let me also show you all what it looks like. Now bringing all of this together, I'd say his kit is also very good regarding other unique actions. His key blasts, his charge key blasts are absolutely fantastic for him. The only thing average is his sidestep triangle. Regardless, it still has armor on it, and if you do manage to connect it somehow and they aren't banishing you, you can continue the combo after it. It's not the best one, but it's decent. His dash S, like I've shown before, is very good because it has so much reach and allows you to easily combo with it or catch your opponent. Now let's talk about his rush chains and his rush chain extensions. So his first rush chain is on the slower side, as you can see. This means that it is a bit easier to super counter, and also sometimes you really have to mash after your dash attack to keep your combo going. Do keep this in mind, that after every dash attack you hit, you make sure that you press your rush chain really fast, else it can whiff. His second rush chain is a bit faster. Still, it has the same problems as the first one, so keep that in mind. From his first rush chain extension we get Heavy Finish. This is always nice to have, but it's not the best option to have on your first rush chain extension. It's nice to have because it lets us combo easily because this has so many stun frames. Also, if we clash and go into this, it stuns them long enough for us to turn them around and get to their back. Now let me show you how you can get to their back again. You do your first rush chain into the Heavy Finish. Fly to the side and then sidestep. And as you can see, I can easily get to their back. Another way is to dash attack. Looks like this. So Heavy Finish is always nice to have, but in my opinion the best one up front is definitely Flying Kicks, because Flying Kicks are so fast that you can easily win clashes with it. Regardless, having this on your rush chain 1 is also nice, especially for combo extensions. Now on his rush chain 2, we have Rolling Hammer. Rolling Hammer usually isn't that great, but for him, same as for Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, it's fantastic to reset the opponent. We are going to get into resets later though. For now, just know that this is fantastic for him because he has ways to reset the opponent and almost guarantee that your unblockable moves like your super or your ultimate are going to hit. Now, for his third rush chain extension, we have this Key Shockwave. This one is okay. I rarely use these because when you hit them with it, as you can see, they turn around. And we don't want this. We always want to be on their back because on their back they have the least options to counter us. If you have more questions regarding this and how to properly set up your combos and why it's so important to combo from the back, please watch my combo theory guide on my channel. It goes on about this in depth. But for now, just know that this is okay, but I rarely use it. I basically only use it for combo finishers. Now for his fourth and final rush chain extension, he has Energy Storm. This one is the same as his Sidestep Triangle and also shares the same weaknesses. This is what it looks like. Now as you can see, because it hits so many times, it's really easy for your opponent to vanish out of it. Regardless, if you do manage to hit it fully charged, keep in mind it has to be fully charged, you can continue the combo by burst dashing, which looks like this. Now that we finished talking about his basic rush chain extensions, we are going to talk about other extensions that he has that in my opinion are useful. So first off, we are going to start with his rush chain extension 1, which is the Heavy Finish. If you press triangle an additional time, he does an extra hit and you can easily combo after it to get additional damage. It looks like this. As you can see, we can easily continue the combo. So this one is also very nice to have. Another extension that I like to use is the one from the dash attack. We've already talked about this one, so I won't talk about it again. Just know that it is definitely a nice extension to have. Another one that is useful for combo finishers is this one fully charged. If you fully charge it and do the full extension, it does this. This is nice to set up supers and ultimates. So it's pretty decent to combo into those. Still, I rarely use it because I rarely want to finish my combo. Usually I'll just go for resets at some point to reset damage scaling. Regardless, just know that you can do this if you want to finish your combo. Now for universal rush chain extensions, we have the sweep and the Liftstrike, which looks like this. Now his sweep, same as his Liftstrike, is standard. It works like any other characters. But for him, sweep is especially good because he can use it to reset you. As you can see, during the attack animation we can reset our combos. For now, just know that the universal sweep is very good for resetting combos, but I won't show you the resets into his unblockables just yet. We're going to get into that in the reset segment. Alright, so for his Liftstrike, he can also continue the combo after it, just like this. You have two ways. You can either just press square, which looks like this, or you can add triangle extensions during it, which looks like this. Now me personally, I usually only use the square extensions, because it makes it so that they can only super counter you and not vanish you. Every triangle extension is usually vanishable. Another thing you can do is manually time your combo so that you can extend your combo even further from the Liftstrike. This is what it looks like. Now me personally, I don't use this too often with Broly, because Broly's rush chain is so slow that they always turn around. You can't keep them backturned. So these are all of his rush chain extensions. If you ask me, his rush chain extensions are decent but nothing outstanding. Having the heavy finish to extend your combos and the rolling hammer for his resets is pretty much all you need. The key wave and the energy storm are basically just fluff. Regardless, again, he has all the tools he needs from his extensions. And the other extensions that I've shown you are definitely very, very useful, especially the one from Sweep, where you can also reset them, or the one from his dash, where you can keep the combo going. So this pretty much covers every important rush string extension. Now before we get into combos, keep in mind that you can extend every smash attack in the game with a burst dash, or a dragon dash cancel in most cases. I usually prefer doing burst dashes because that sets me up right behind my opponent, and we always want to be at the opponent's back. Now, how do you extend from a smash attack? Let me demonstrate it. Now, as you all can see, I can easily continue my combo, and this stays true for every smash attack. This also means that if you win super counter exchanges, you can also burst dash or dragon dash cancel to continue your combo. Let me show you all the dragon dash cancel version. So always keep in mind that if you do hit them with a smash attack, you can always combo after it. This is very, very useful. Next up, let's start talking about combos. And first of all, we are going to talk about combos up front. Like many characters in the game, he can't combo from his rush chain into any of his extensions up front. And he can't also continue the combo after stepping in like this. This means that there is no guaranteed way for you to continue the combo once you hit them up front. You have to get to their back somehow, by, for example, sidestepping when they are pressing into you. Or you can also use some movement techniques in conjunction with his charge ki blast. This allows for some pretty cool looking setups that make it easier for you to get to their back. Let me show you how it looks. So what was I doing in these clips? Basically, I was just comboing into my tracking ki blast. And because my tracking ki blast was set up in a way where 2 out of my 3 tracking ki blasts hit later, I have enough plus frames to use advanced movement techniques or perfect smashes to basically either hit them or get to their back right away. If you want to know how to do some of these advanced movement techniques that I was doing, do consider checking out my movement guide. It goes on in depth about how to do these, but for now just know that you can do them in conjunction with your tracking ki blast to get to their back, and from their back of course we can use our full combo potential. Another thing we can obviously do from the front is perfect smashes, because from perfect smashes we can always burst dash and continue our combo. Something else we can obviously do is throw them, and if we throw them, we can also continue our combo from the front. You can also continue your combo from his gigantic hammer. This needs 5 bars of ki though, so it is very expensive. Still, you can also burst dash after this if you hit it from the front, as you can see. And these are pretty much all the options you have if you want to combo up front, or use a combo up front to get to your opponent's back. Lastly, I'm going to show you one combo example using what I've shown you prior. So basically comboing into his tracking ki blast and then getting to their back to do a full combo. Now this combo is going to use most of Broly's rush chain extensions. This is just for demonstration purposes, so you can see how to keep your combo going. I'm not saying that this is optimal. I'm also not saying that you are not going to get super countered. I'm just showing how to keep your combo going in case they don't super counter you. In general, I advise to not keep your combo going until the end, because at some point scaling is gonna kick in. What is scaling? Basically, the longer I keep my combo going, as you can see, the less damage my attacks start doing. So at some point I'd advise resetting instead. Regardless, in this example, I'm going to show you a full combo using most of his tools. Now that I've shown you everything you need to know about comboing from the front, we are going to talk about comboing from the back. Now there's not a lot to talk about here, because during comboing from the front, I've already given you examples on how to combo from the back. Regardless, comboing from the back has one difference, and that is that right away we can just start pressing our square string without having to spend ki on any type of reset to get to their back. Now this is good because on one hand we can save ki, and ki is absolutely essential in this game. On the other hand, this makes it so that by doing this basic combo we can cash out damage, and all they can do is super counter. So from the get-go they have less options to counter you. Besides that, you can use all the tools that I've shown you in comboing up front. The only difference is, like I said, that you can start doing your full combos right away. So right away we can start canceling into our extensions. Regardless, I'm going to give you an example of how to combo from the back, again using most of Broly's tools in the first example, and in the second example I'm going to show you a safer combo route that basically only gives them the chance to super counter and rarely gives them the chance to vanish. So check this out. Alright, so this wraps up the combo segment. By now you should know exactly how to keep your combo going during any situation. Now in my opinion, I think his combo game is decent. There are some characters who have even more combo extenders, which means they can keep the combo going for an even longer time. But this isn't necessarily a good thing or even needed, because in this game damage scaling kicks in very fast, and also you give them more chances to super counter you. Most of the time, instead of keeping your combo long, you want to do a shorter combo into a reset, which this character is very good at. Regardless, if they let you do combos, you can definitely keep up combos with him for a long enough time. And also, because of his very high damage stat, even though he doesn't have as many combo extenders as some other characters, he can still dish out a lot of damage. So overall, I'd say his combo game is very good. If you've stuck around this long, congrats, because now we are going to get into the best part of this character, and that is resets. This character is an absolute beast at resetting the opponent into big damage numbers. For this, he has a multitude of ways to do it. The first one is obviously his unbreakable throw. The second one is his super gigantic hammer, which is unblockable and does above 11k damage. The last one we have is his ultimate, which does a huge number of damage, above 20k, and we can also reset into it because it's unblockable. So we have a ton of ways to really put the hurt on our opponent. Now, why are resets so important? It's because resets are pretty much guaranteed if they don't super counter or vanish your combo beforehand. So resets can really hurt your opponent. And also, resets make it so that damage scaling returns to what it is at the beginning. Because if you continue your combo for a very long time, as you can see, damage scaling starts kicking in, which makes it so that we do less damage. But if we reset the combo during it, we return to our original damage scaling, which means we do way more damage. Now, first of all, we are going to talk about universal resets that any character can do. And for this, I'm going to use a sweep. So you sweep them like this, and the sweep makes it so that they automatically recover in the air. Keep in mind, to do these sweep resets, you always need to be in the air. Now, as you can see, he is recovering, and the game automatically does this. There is nothing they can do about it. And during their recovery animation, we can wait and then reset our combo, just like this. This is a universal reset that any character has, and it's very easy to do. Now the thing is, if we do it like this, we are giving them more chances to super counter us. This is where Broly's unique tools come in. First of all, we're going to continue talking about resetting from sweeps, but there are a multitude of ways. So from his sweep, what we can do is set up our unbreakable throw, and we do this by sweeping them, then keep charging for a millisecond and then throwing them. This basically auto times it so you don't get an OTG throw. This is what it looks like. And we can even keep the combo going after the throw and go for another reset, just like this. This works quite easily, and if we want to be really annoying and make it hard for our opponent to get out, we can also keep our combo super short and then go for this grab reset, just like this. And you can keep on doing this basically forever until they super counter you or somehow manage to vanish your sweep. So this is very strong and better than the standard universal reset. Now this isn't the only reset that Broly has. Like we've already established at the very beginning, he also has this gigantic hammer which works up close and is unblockable. So basically we can do the exact same thing we did with our grab, except this one is going to hurt much more. Now watch this. As you can see, as long as we have the key, we have a big damage move that we can easily use to reset, and this one really hurts. You can also use the sweep reset to go right into his ultimate, which is also unblockable, and they have to vanish it. If they don't vanish it, it hurts a lot. Let me show you what that looks like. Now as you can see, he is still stuck in the recovery animation, so he has to vanish this. He can't do anything else about it. And if he doesn't vanish this, look at the damage. That is absolutely massive damage. And with how easy Broly can get to his ultimate using his Blastox skill Kakarot, this is very dangerous and very good for him. Now this pretty much wraps up all the important resets for his sweep. He does have another way to reset you though, and we are going to get into this right now. Now let's talk about his second reset, and this one is also very effective. It uses his rolling hammer from his rush chain. Now remember when I said that rolling hammer isn't that good for combo extensions? That is still very true, but it is absolutely fantastic to reset them into big damage. Now what do? We do rolling hammer, and during rolling hammer we charge up our ki blast and then fire a charged ki blast right as it finishes. This is what it looks like. Now as you can see, he is stuck blocking that, but he isn't stuck blocking that for very long, which means if we go for our unbreakable grab, he's most likely just going to mash. Now let me show you how long it takes to get the grab out. As you can see, that is a very long time. During this time most players are going to react. But what other tools do we have? We have his gigantic hammer, which works up close, right away, and is unblockable. So let's check this out. Now as you can see, he isn't able to do anything about this outside of trying to vanish it, because during the super startup we still even see the smoke from our charged ki blast, so basically we are hitting him right away. And the good thing is that if we have 5 ki bars or we are in sparking mode, we can also continue the combo further after our super, which means we can start going for even more resets. So this is another very effective way using his rolling hammer to reset. I'll demonstrate it one last time. Now as you can see, we are coming out of the smoke and we are beating him up, doing big damage. And now let's continue the combo. Just like this, we can keep it going, go for another reset if we so choose. So this is very good. Now let's talk about the final way he can reset. At least it's the last way I know of that I think is effective. And I mainly go for this reset from the front. From the back, I go for the resets that we've talked about before. But from the front, what I do is this. You already know this from the combo segment. Basically, I'm setting up my charged ki blast, and as you can see, by doing an up smash and then doing my charged ki blast, some of the charged ki blasts are still following him and forcing him to guard. Now, what does this mean? It means it gives us another opportunity to reset. But before we get to that, there is another thing you can use this for. You can use it to guard break them. Now, if you didn't know, if your opponent doesn't have much ki, if you guard break them, they can't do anything for a certain period of time. So going for a guard break is sometimes not a bad idea. Now let me show you what it looks like. Now as you can see, he is fatigued. And during this time I can do whatever I want to him. I can keep my combo going from the front if I want to. He can literally not do anything until he recovers. So guard breaking them is sometimes quite nice. Another thing we can do before we get into the traditional resets is using this combo to set up a perfect smash, which is also unblockable. Let me show you all what it looks like. Now as you can see, this perfectly sets up my perfect smash, and I can continue the combo easily afterwards. How you continue the combo is something I've already shown you, so I'm not going to demonstrate it again. You can watch it in the combo segment. Regardless, just know that this reset is also very strong. Something else that we can do is use our other unique unblockables. We cannot grab them because our grab is too slow and they are too far away. But what we can do is gigantic hammer them. Now what we do is the same combo and we wait just a second before the Ki Blast hits them on block. And then we do our gigantic hammer. This is what it looks like. So as you can see, I basically just wait until I see that they block the second Ki Blast, and then I go for my gigantic hammer right away. Again, you can keep your combo going after gigantic hammer if you do have the key for it, but this is another fantastic way to set up gigantic hammer, and it hurts like a truck. Another thing which we can do, which we couldn't from the rolling hammer reset, is go for our ultimate. Now check this out. Now as you can see, there is really nothing they can do about this. This works the same from the front and from the back. All they can really try to do is vanish this, and if they don't vanish this, as you can see, they take a ton of damage. So yeah, overall I'd say Broly's resets are really strong. Alright, so now that we've finished talking about his fantastic resets, which are some of the best in the game, let's start talking about something else that is very important, and that is how to deal with super counters and perception. So super counters is always a thing that they can do. It doesn't matter where you combo them from, even if you combo them from the back, they can always super counter you, so you are always going to have to deal with it. Now how do we deal with super counters? Basically there are two ways. The first way is just winning the super counter exchange. And when you win it, you knock them away with a smash attack like this, which means you can continue your combo, which looks like, 1 second, this. And from there, you can keep your combo going. Now for this, you need to have the key advantage. This is why I keep stressing that it's so important that you have more key than your opponent. So always watch your key bar and your opponents, and try to have more key than your opponent. Another thing we can do to minimize the risk of getting super countered is keeping our combos very, very short. So basically, for example, just doing jab into sweep. And then you can go for the resets that I've shown you during the earlier section. So basically we can go for our throw, we can go for our super, or we can go for our ultimate. And all of these are unblockable. So if they don't super counter you during these two punches, they will get hit, which is very strong. Unless they manage to dodge or let's just say vanish your gigantic hammer or your ultimate, which is most likely not going to happen. And if you want to make sure that it isn't going to happen, you can use your throw, because they can't do anything about this unbreakable throw. Right, so that is pretty much what you want to do against super counters. I know super counters are very annoying, but this is the only counterplay you have. In my opinion, if they are really good at it, keep your combos short and go for the resets that we learned earlier. Now against perception, people that spam perception on you. When they spam it on block, you want to cancel into Ki Blast, because when you cancel into Ki Blast, it knocks them out of the perception stance. Another thing you can do is obviously throw them. Now this throw is quite slow, so outside of resets I don't use it too often. Still, if they're not being careful, you can definitely use this. And after you've thrown them, again you can keep your combo going by just using your burst dash, which looks like this. Right? Another thing you can always do in any situation, and this is a general tip, is use gigantic hammer, because it starts up from up close. This means if you block pressure them and they spam perception, you can gigantic hammer them. If somebody burst dashes you, you can gigantic hammer them. If somebody looks at you the wrong way close up, you can gigantic hammer them because it works like this. You can always gigantic hammer them, and all they can do is vanish if they aren't being careful. You can use this in a variety of ways to punish them. So gigantic hammer is almost always the answer. It's a very, very strong move. Now, before getting to my final verdict of the character, I wanted to quickly talk about his playstyle with everything that we've learned about him now. So this character can be played in basically two ways. You can either play him like any other character, where you go in fast and try to get your hit using movement techniques. Or you can play him very slow and use your charged ki blast to cover your tracks and then burst dash in. So basically using these as cover fire and then approaching your opponent. Another thing he is very good at is playing even more lame or slow. Let's just say slow because slow doesn't sound as negative. And basically because you start the round with 3 ki bars, you can just charge your ki until you have gigantic hammer. And now what happens? Once you have gigantic hammer, they have a very, very hard time approaching you. So if they try burst dashing you, you simply gigantic hammer them. Just like that. And if they give you enough time, you can charge up all the way and get access to your ultimate, which is unblockable, and now you start going in. So basically, this is one of the best characters in the game if you just want to play it slow. Because if they let you play it slow, you have so many tools to keep them in check. Or you gain your ultimate, which is a super huge risk for them, because now you can basically reset them into above 20k damage. In the end, it doesn't really matter if you play him slow or if you play him aggressive. What really counts is that once you get in and get the hit, he has all the tools you need that we talked about during the guide to really make it hurt. You can use all of his unblockable resets, or just keep the combo going if they aren't good at super counters and really dish out the pain. So overall, you can really choose if you want to play this character passive or if you want to play him aggressive. But I wanted to especially mention that you can play him very passive if you want, because of gigantic hammer and because you can cover your approach with these ki blasts. For my final verdict, I'd say Legendary Super Saiyan Broly is one of the best characters in the game right now. He has everything that you need. He has some of the best stats in the game. He has all of these unblockable resets using his unbreakable grab and his gigantic hammer super and his unblockable ultimate. And he has all the ways you need to keep your combo going for a very long time if they aren't super countering you. And if they are super countering you, again, you can use all of his resets to really make it hard for them to super counter you, and you are going to put on a lot of damage while doing that. Also one of the few characters who can play lane effectively. So yeah, I'd say overall, this character basically has everything that you need, and he is very, very strong. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this guide, and if you did and found it to be informative, a like is always very appreciated. Now, if you do have any questions left, please feel free to ask away in the comments, and I'll try to respond as fast as possible. The support I've been getting on these videos has been absolutely amazing, but if there are any guides that you specifically want to see, please feel free to suggest them in the comments as well. For now, thank you again, and until next time. Peace.